Aloha and welcome to this episode of the Hawaii Smooth Jazz Connection. I am your host, Gwen Harris. My guest today is a groundbreaking Grammy-nominated national recording artist and the world's premier soulful R&B, smooth jazz, and funk harpist. She has performed for the Los Angeles Southeast Symphony Orchestra and has played at many major festivals and private events, including for the First Lady of the United States, Michelle Obama, and President Barack Obama. She has performed at the BET Awards with Leo and has toured Africa and performed across the country with my favorite female smooth jazz group, Jazz in Pink. She is the recipient of many awards, and her newly released album, All My Strings, is climbing the music charts. I am so honored and happy to have her here with me today. Let's welcome Miss Mariea Antoinette to the show. Aloha, Mariea. How are you?
I'm doing great. Aloha, mahalo, as they say. Yes, I'm doing great.
I am so glad you are here. And I can tell you when I first saw you and first heard about you, I was like, wow, how can a beautiful lady make like playing the harp like so funky and sexy? It's just, it's amazing. So with that, how did you get into music?
Well, it's a long story, but make a long story short, my parents put me in an all-girls school, private school, and they had a music program. And during Music Month, they brought in the harp. And so it happened to be the harpist from the San Diego Symphony who did a demonstration. And I was hooked. I saw the harp and I thought it was beautiful. And I knew then that's what I wanted to do. And she had played Debussy's first arabesque. And I said, oh, that is so awesome, so beautiful. So that began my journey on the harp. And it's a long story. And I know we don't have much time, but I came home and told my parents I wanted to take harp lessons. And they said, we're not paying for no harp and we're not paying for any harp lessons. So, I mean, because at that time, nobody saw the harp. It's something you rarely see, like a piano or a saxophone or drum.
It's such a unique instrument. It's a very unique instrument. Now, do you play any other instruments besides the harp?
Well, not really. The harp is my love. I can tap around on some keys, but that's about it. But the harp is my main instrument. And I probably do spoken word, if you want to call that music. But I do have a spoken word part of me as well.
Now, like I said, you've received numerous awards. You've played in many festivals. Like I said, Jazz in Pink with Gail Johnson and is one of my favorite groups. How do I say it? How was it? Because you performed for President Barack Obama and First Lady. I still call him First Lady and President.
It was
How was it playing for them?
Really exciting. I knew it was going to happen. To introduce that, it's like I had to go through so many sound checks, CIA background checks, FBI. You had to get through all of that sort of thing. And so it was really cool. And to meet them was phenomenal. The performance was great, and it was one of those what you call well-heeled events. So like $30,000 per person. And to see my name on the program right at the top, Harpist Mariea Antoinette, that is something I have framed and I can keep forever. It is with the White House seal on it, and it's really what an honor. It really was.
Awesome. Now, before we get into, because this is such a short segment, and we spoke about this earlier, before we get into your albums and some of the songs that I love on your albums, you have ties to Hawaii. Explain that.
Yes. Yeah, I'll just be brief on it. But yes, I used to live in Hawaii, and I lived in a place called Kaneohe, which is, on the windward side of the island. And at that time, I was actually a flight attendant for Delta Airlines. Coming right out of school, and I had this dream that I wanted to see the world before I really pushed my music career. And I said, the only way I'm gonna be able to see the world is if I get a job flying. So that's when I graduated from training, they shipped me straight to Hawaii. Honolulu was my home base. And I lived in Kaneohe and I loved it. Those were my best, I can tell you, my best years.
Oh, well, you need to come back then. You definitely need to come back, but this time you need to perform. You need to perform. You need to definitely come back um, and perform. Now let's talk about your album, your latest album, your latest album, All My Strings.
Yes.
Now, you know, now correct me if I'm wrong. You have the single that you did was from Lauryn Hill, right?
Yes.
And that is on that album.
Mm-hmm.
That's on that album. And that thing. And for all my viewers, you're gonna get a chance to hear this beautiful woman play this beautiful harp. And I don't know what she's gonna play, but she's gonna play. But that is one of my favorite songs. Another one of my favorite songs. Another you're laughing. But
Well,
another
since
one of
it's your favorite song, then I will play it for you. How's that?
yes, yes. You're gonna see me grooving. But another one of my favorite songs, and I want to know what made you want to do these songs, is by the late Minnie Riperton.
Oh,
Loving You.
I love Minnie Riperton. And that song was really in dedication to my first producer, Carl Evans Jr., who was the musical director of Fat Burger.
Mm-hmm.
And he was the one who got me started and on my way musically. So that song was really in testament to Carl to say thank you. And we chose that song, Loving You, because even to this day, he's influenced so many artists' lives. And he was an icon, and he was just the most musical person I've ever known. And so that song was a tribute to Carl Evans Jr. from Fat Burger.
Oh, nice. Well, it's a beautiful song because if
Plus, I
my
love Minnie
viewers,
Riperton. I mean,
yes,
you know, she has that 6-octave range.
but
And
you
she was
even
just
on the harp,
amazing.
you
Yeah.
even on the harp get that octave when she does that high note too.
Yes,
So
yes.
that is just beautiful.
Thank you.
Now, one of the questions that I have is, I know that you are into health and wellness. I know
Yes,
that's your second passion. That is
yes,
your second passion. Tell
it
us
is.
about that.
Well, besides music, I've always been a health advocate for many years. It's like probably at least 30 some years. And I think it comes through a genetic bloodline of my grandma because
Mm-hmm.
she was into health and wellness and did carrot juice when nobody was doing that. Plus, she
Mm-hmm.
was a midwife when women, particularly African American women, could not go to the hospital. She delivered babies. So she had this whole vibe of health and wellness. And I think I really honestly, I inherited it because
Mm-hmm.
it's just natural things I just know to do when it comes to your health. And those are books I read. I'm late in the bed at night reading health and wellness books, making juices in the morning, smoothies, all kinds of concoctions. And actually, I'm going to come out with my new line, hopefully by the end of this year, Mariea Antoinette's Health Secrets.
Oh, wow.
And so we need that because our immune systems now with this COVID-19 is in dire need of a boost. And that's the one thing that keeps us here is our immune system. So I'm going to give some secrets on that.
Oh, nice. I'll be looking out for that. Now we're talking about the COVID-19, and the entertainment field has taken a dive because of it.
Yeah.
What have you been doing to cope during this pandemic?
Well, my digital sales have been great. So everything for me is digital now. And I mean, of course, I come and I practice, you know, every day and everything, but the marketing has taken a shift in a different direction. So we've had to really improvise and think outside the box.
Right.
Because we're not doing live performances like we were. And
Mm-hmm.
so since you're not doing that, then you've got to do some other things to compensate for what we were not doing. So, but I've been okay. I've been okay. And like I said, and then this time of COVID where you have time to just sit and think, you know, I've always wanted to do this health and wellness thing. So I had all this time. So I said, okay, here we go. I got time to do it now. So if you're going to do it, you better do it now. So that's why I'm going down that road in addition to my music. And I'm just loving it. I really am, because I know that's part of my purpose here.
You think you'll do a live on Facebook or you think you'll do a live on Facebook? You think you'll do a concert on Facebook maybe?
Well, you know, I think I've done a couple. Yeah, I've done some Instagram and I've done a Facebook Live. And I think this might be the third or fourth. I think this is the fourth one.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, but yeah, we're gonna do a concert too. Well, we have to. And I thought
Okay.
about it. Just it's funny you should say that because the other day I was thinking maybe I'll get a stage and get my band, and we'll just record our show.
And
You know,
that's what they do here. That's what they're doing here. You know, they have a Blue Note where they have the people performing, but there's no audience. They're
yes,
just
right.
performing.
Yeah, I think we're gonna do that.
But we need you here in Hawaii, though. We need you here at Blue Note Hawaii to perform.
Well, I would love to come, and as soon as they open it up, me and my band, we're there. And I don't know if you've seen any of the audio or the live feed, let's say from the San Diego Jazz Festival with me and my band.
Uh-huh.
It's amazing because I have strings and horns and backup singers.
See,
And
I know that's
crazy, but it is so hot.
exciting.
Yes.
Exciting.
Yes, yes.
Now, you've collaborated with a number of people. Who would you like to collaborate? Who is your dream? Who is the person your dream person to collaborate with? Your dream person.
Somebody just asked me this the other day, and then we could go living, or we could go if we had the opportunity if they're gone. But living, I would probably say Stevie would be cool, Stevie Wonder, and I like that artist called Her, H-E-R.
Oh, yes.
Yes, I like her too.
Oh, I think you two would. I think you two would do really great.
That would be real cool too, as well. It's hard to say one person because I like them all for different reasons.
Right, right. So, one of the questions that I ask the artists are, there's a lot of artists that are coming, like the new artists that are coming in, and they're having like a hard time. What would you tell them? What advice would you give to them?
First of all, hone your craft very well. To be excellent, that would be number one. Secondly, is to really learn the business. That's very, very important. Those two things go hand in hand, and you got to know the business. Because if you don't, you may lose out. So it's really important that you know your craft and to know the business of music. That's
now, another question is, like you said, you did music in the school. I did music in the school, but now they're starting to take the music out of the schools. In some of the schools, they're starting to take the music out. What is your thought on that? And what can we do, if possible, to bring it back?
Well, the parents are going to really have to petition for that, and they're going to have to find really creative ways of raising money to put the music back in the school, because it's so important that our children have a creative outlet. I cannot even emphasize that enough. You know, reading, writing, arithmetic is one thing, but to have a creative outlet of music, the arts is, like, to me, number one. The children, we come here all different. And so where I may be playing a harp, somebody else may be doing something else, a piano, they may be singing. And it is important that they have that, because it really identifies their creativity and taps into their genius for whatever it might be. So it's really important. And I would say that as a community, they would have to come together to raise the money for the children to have music, or like I say, get a grant to construct a building or rent out a building where the kids can come for after school programs. That would be the thing as well. There's two options there.
Right.
And of course, private lessons, but everybody can't afford private lessons.
Yes.
Every week for 10 years. So
that's one of the things on my bucket list. My goal is I want to do something for the children and music, because music and art is very important.
Yes, and
very
it's
important
too. You know, we have to turn the baton over to someone.
Yes.
You know, when we leave here, we're not going to be here forever. So, you know, let's leave something for them that is great.
Now, this is a question that one of my friends wanted me to ask you. So, so I have to read this.
Uh-oh.
So I have to read this. So you started your career young. You have played in different genres to man. Now, as an experienced career musician, what is one piece of advice that you would give your younger self? I was trying to paraphrase that.
Let's see. I'm gonna give my younger self. That's a good question. Hmm. I, I don't really know because I kind of done everything I wanted to do.
Right?
I traveled the world. I wanted to do music. I wanted an album that was where it's at right now. 4 albums, and that is really, I don't know, what good advice. Probably not get married so soon. Maybe that's the one.
Oh my goodness.
That's funny, but it's really sort of not. But it was a lesson in itself because life gives us a lot of lessons, and from that we gain a lot of wisdom, and so you really can't discount that either, even though, let's say, it was a mistake or it didn't work out. It's part of wisdom training. It's part of the path. It really is.
Now another question, excuse me, another, another
Good.
I know that, I have people send me questions and I'm like, do I want to ask that? But I will. But another question is, you do have 4 albums and the person wants to know which album is your favorite. And that's kind of hard to ask an artist, like which album is your favorite. But which one of your albums is your favorite and why?
Straight from the Harp. It was my last album before All My Strings. I love them all for different reasons, but I think that Straight from the Harp really shows the harp in many different genres. It shows my technique in many different ways. I mean, we go from some smooth jazz to straight funk of boogie nights, and then we calm it down with some really cool music of Barry White. I have spoken word on that. It has a colorful tapestry of music. And that was the one that I got a lot of nods from the Grammy board, straight
Okay.
from the home. So yeah, but I'm proud of all of them. They really are. It's been an evolution for me musically. Each album has done different things in different ways, and so the next one will probably be different as well. But all of them, straight from the harp, to me is very powerful.
Okay, well, we are going to go on a quick break. And when we come back, you're going to have a treat for us, right?
Yes, I got a tune for you.
Okay. All right.
Sitting here.
Well, we're going to go on a quick break. We'll be right back.
Okay.
Aloha and welcome back to the Hawaii Smooth Jazz Connection, where we have my very special guest, harpist, R&B, smooth jazz, and soul harpist, Mariea Antoinette. Aloha, Marie.
Aloha. We're here. We're back.
Thank you thank you so much for joining us today. For those of you that are just tuning in, we've talked a little bit because the show is so short and there's so much that I want to go over with her, which means I'm going to have to do another interview with you soon sometime. But we've talked a little bit about her career, how she started. And Mariea, she is going to give us a little treat.
Yes.
And play for us.
Okay. I'll introduce this song. Well, I love, as you guys know, Lauren Hill, and it is her favorite. So I'll go ahead and do that thing. So this song is dedicated to all the ladies in the house.
Yeah.
You better watch out. Well, great.
Thank
Well,
you. That
thank
was
you.
beautiful.
Thank you for having me.
How
And
long does it, how many hours do you practice?
I try to get as much in as I possibly can. Some days it's like 4 hours. Like I'll come out here in the morning for about 90 minutes and I'll come back early afternoon. And then a lot of times really late at night for about 2 hours.
Because my fingers were hurting just watching you do that. Like, how did
You're so funny.
my fingers were really hurting watching you do that.
Oh, well, it is a feat. The harp is really an amazing instrument, and there's a lot going on. I played with 8 fingers out of the 10. We don't play with our baby fingers, so the left hand's doing one thing, the right hand's doing another thing. And then we've got 7 pedals down here too, which most people don't know about, that changes the keys while I'm playing to give you all those beautiful sounds. So,
wow.
Yeah.
But you, again, like I said at the beginning of the show, you just take that harp where no one really thought of, the harp is more of like a classical, but you take it and you do the smooth jazz, you do the soul, you do the R&B, and you can still jam with harp.
Well, thank you. That was my dream because I came from a classical background. And so the whole time I'm doing all this other music, I'm like, how in the world can I make this harp funky? How can I make it the music that I grew up with? That was my goal. That was my dream, is to put R&B soul on the harp. And I got with, like, say, a wonderful producer who knew exactly what I wanted to do. And that was the key to everything. And just watching in the studio as he recorded other artists. And I saw how an album came together musically. And because I didn't have an idea, it was like baking a cake. You first start with the basics and you build it and you build it and build it.
Right.
And you have this beautiful cake in front of you. Like, oh my God, that's how it all happens. So everything's done in layers. And so I just watched the process and I thought, okay, I'm ready. Let's do this. And here I am today, 4 albums later.
Well, you are amazing. What concerts or anything do you have, anything coming up, any projects you're working on? What do you have coming up?
Well, it's interesting because the last few weeks I've been working on other people's projects. And so yesterday I was in the studio and I did an amazing song that's going to come out probably like in a month or so with a rapper and a singer. And they asked me to put a harp on it, which the combination is straight fire. I mean, it is amazing. Wait till you hear it. And then there's another young artist that's coming up, female soloist. And me and her just did a thing with harp and voice, but it does have some synthesized strings in the background. So that's nice. But for right now, my biggest concert coming up would be, and hopefully with COVID, keep our fingers crossed, that nothing gets canceled, but that's Catalina. I'm the headliner for the Catalina Jazz Festival, October the 11th.
October the 11th. Okay.
Yeah. Right. So that's what's happening right now.
And where can people, if they want to, if they already don't know, where can they purchase your fantastic music?
Well, you can get it online. I'm on the pretty much all the digital outlets like iTunes, CD Baby, Amazon, all the platforms, Apple, and then my website. That's really, I like to always try to push my website because you get extra stuff. You get signed CDs, you get gifts, posters, and that's at MariaAntoinette.com, and that's spelled MARIEA, and then Antoinette, ANTOINETTE, MariaAntoinette.com. So I would push that spot first. And I got merchandise there as well. So yeah, so I'm out there. I can be found.
So everyone heard that. If you have any questions, you can email me and I will definitely send you the information. Now, one other question. We're going to go back to that health and wellness that I know that that you're into. Okay.
Okay.
Give us a good tip. Give our viewers a good tip.
Okay.
Something that we can do.
Yeah, for your immune system. This is with somebody who's maybe not be doing anything, but it's very important that you get vitamin D3 with K2. That is for your immune system. And it's really, if you don't get enough sun, because a lot of times us people of color, we don't get enough sun. So vitamin D with K2 would be a great place to start. Your greens, like chlorella and spirulina, those are extremely important. Your chlorophylls, your green juices, and I'm not talking green juices in a store where you go pull it out of the case. This is something that you can go buy, let's say at Whole Foods, like a chlorophyll drink, or at home you get your greens together and mix them with blueberries. And then I'm into the Chinese herbs as well. I love the mushrooms, your reishi mushrooms, shiitake, shaga, lion's mane. All of those were different things, but all of those boost your immune system. And so those are very powerful, powerful superfoods. So I would say start with that if anybody's writing that down. If not, you can write me at MAH Productions and I would be able to give you a list of things to start with. But those are the most important things, especially with COVID-19, your immunity and your immune system is everything. And so I'm just saddened that with all this talk of putting a mask over your face and all this stuff, nobody's asking anything about your immune system. So.
Wow. See, we have a healthy musician, and I'm sure that helps you when you go on tour too. It's
well, you have to be at your best, and you want to feel good. You don't want to feel sick, and to work out. It's important that people walk too. Right now the gyms are closed, so you can walk for an hour every day. Walk, run, just exercise the body, move it.
Wow. Well, I thank you so much. Our time, I told you this is going to be short, but our time has come to an end. And I thank you for being here on the show. I would love to have you here in Hawaii, and we're going to have to work on that. Once all this stuff clears up, have you here in Hawaii to perform here. But again, thank you.
You're so welcome. You're so welcome. Thank you and mahalo.
Mahalo.
I've heard it so many times.
Well, I thank my viewers. Thank you for tuning in. And until next time, aloha and God bless.
Bye.